No, it's fine. Some of my best reviews are when I'm hungover. These lot won't notice. Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this, the Govad RTA from Vandy Vape. What is it? It is the follow-on from the Govad RTA, which was a really interesting single coil clamp system RDA. Basically, they've taken that deck and they've stuck it with a tank on top to make an RTA. Now, it's TPD compliant, kind of. We'll cover it more at the end of the video, but it does come with all the warnings on and with a 2 mil capacity. Then it has a thing inside you can pull out to up the capacity to 4 mil. Single coil clamp system, juice flow control, goon size drip tips available on here as well. Huge airflow if you need it. Let's just get on with this. Let's go down low, have a proper look at it, then come back up top. See you in a second. Alright guys, here we are up close with the Govad RTA from Vandy Vape. Got our warning on there. We've got some details on the back. All good stuff on the box. Opening her up, we are greeted with a big old wide Ultim style drip tip, spare glass tank, and the RTA itself. Underneath that layer you do have your spare O-rings, different colours and all that sort of thing, spare screws, so that's all good and nice. This is the tank. Now, when it comes with this in the tank here, and what you do is you take it apart, pull that out, and it goes from 2 mil capacity to 4 mil capacity. We will talk about that more up top, but that's all that is. The RTA as a 2 mil capacity would be quite tedious because you're really blowing through juice on something like this. But this is the RTA. I'll give you a nice look around. So it sort of fans up from being quite narrow at the base. It fans up to being quite wide in the middle. Sort of like the old billow tanks used to do. So you've got your drip tip on here. Goon size hole there, as you can see. So goony, very goony in there. You've then got top fill here. Just unscrew that, and this is your top fill here. Take that off and stick your juice in there. When you do stick your juice in there, one thing to remember is that it does have juice flow control. Now what you do is you turn this until it's open, and that is your juice flow control open. A little turn like that and it is now closed. So that's how that works. If we go down to the base, let's take this out, show you the deck. And here we go, and this is what I've got going on in here. Now, it has the same clamp posts as the Govad RDA had. So one big screw in the middle is controlling this whole sort of clamp, you know. So you can wrap your coil however you want, like either way, and it goes round like that. So that's how that works. Phillips head screws there. One thing to remember is you want it really flush. That's a bit stuck, it's too far stuck out really, but you want to trim your leads off as flush as you possibly can because you need to screw that tank back on. You've got your 2 air holes underneath there, and you also have these side slots. You should be able to see that. I'll try and point at them a little bit more, but inside there you also have those air holes as well, so it's coming up the side of the coil and from right underneath. Absolutely masses of airflow. And yeah, I've got a big old sort of Clapton-y type thing in here. There we go. Now, wicking wise, you can be very generous with your cotton on these. Get a nice big lump of cotton and stick it right down. You don't want to go all the way down to this hole. You want to leave a bit of space here. Get that all nice and juicy. And it's wicking an absolute beast, this thing, so don't worry about that. Simply screwing this back on like this, and we are good to go again. there we go. That is the Govad RTA from Vandy Vape. Let's go up top. Okay guys, that was the Govad RTA up close. Okay, let's get it out of the way. Let's get it out of the way. This is a TPD, TRPR compliant tank, in as much that it's registered with the TPD, it's got the warnings on the packaging, and it comes as 2 mil capacity at point of sale. However, and I'll show you the graphic now, it comes with clear instructions of how to up this without buying any additional feature in the box, up this to 4 mil capacity. I genuinely do not know how this will play out, this sort of thing will play out. The way that the Cleto did this, where you had to buy a separate coil to up the capacity, that seems like a much more reasonable approach to the problem. That seems, this way of doing it, it could be argued by the authorities that at point of sale this is a 2 mil or 4 mil capacity tank, in which case it would not be compliant. There's a big difference between being registered and being approved, and all of these products at the moment, they're registered, which is fine, which means the UK shops can buy them, but they're not on the approved list. And there's a big contrast there between, you know, what's going to happen and what's happening. So I don't know how it'll play out. For me, it feels like a little bit of a cheeky workaround, you know, whereas the EXO one, I think that's absolutely fine. Point of sale, that's a 2 mil tank. If you go out of your way to buy a different coil for that, it's a bigger capacity. So that feels a much more clean workaround than this. That being said, it's really nice that you can take it apart, up them to 4 mil capacity, and you're good to go. So I really like it, but I don't know if it's tiptoeing along the grey area too much. I don't know. Time will tell on that. That's just something I had to transmit across to you guys. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Let me know in the comments what you think about it all. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. It's the law that's an ass. You know, not Vandy Vape. Vandy Vape thinking of ways around it. 4-hour benefit. So it's all good. Let me know what you think in the comments about all that. Okay, so the Govad RTA. What do I think? Pros and cons. One pro, I'm just going to nail across straight away. Check out this vape quality. That is a 0.35 coil at 55.5 watts, and it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Thick, dense clouds, smooth, swooshy airflow, really great flavour, really nice clouds. This single coil RTA market is really hotting up. You know, there's some really cloudy single coil RTAs available now, and I've got a couple more to show you in the next few days, weeks, what have you. So it's really intensifying this market, and this is a real contender. Really tasty. I genuinely love the vape quality. So that's the standout, significant, important thing. The actual negatives I have, they're very finicky little negatives, really. As I said with the Govad RDA, these clamps, they're not as strong clamps as something like the Goon, where you have 2 screws holding down the plate. This has 1 screw in the middle, and the plate sort of just wobbles its way down, and I don't feel like it's getting a really strong connection. I really don't know how well it would do with, you know, a thin bit of wire. You know? So, yeah, a thin round wire thing, I don't know how well it's going to deal with that. It doesn't feel like you can really crank down on it. I would like to see bigger, thicker Phillips head screws, maybe 2 screws in, you know, like the Goon and things like that. I don't know. It's absolutely fine, but it's just a little finicky sort of thing. The other finicky little thing is the top fill. The top cap on the top fill is a real wrench to get off. I don't know if that's just mine or I'm doing something wrong, over tightening it or something, but it feels quite fiddly, you know. Yeah, and it takes a bit of getting off. It seems to really lock up, which is, you know, again, a very finicky, tiny little thing. The other things worth mentioning at that point, not so much negatives for me, but things I want you to be aware of as a consumer, is the size. Now, it's technically, I guess, 24 or 25 mil at the base, but it really fans out. It's a big tank. This is on my big old RX 200S, which is, you know, a big chunky mod, and it still looks big, you know, even on here. It's a big RTA, this. That comes with benefits, obviously. You've got that big build deck, which allows you big coils and big flavour, but yeah, it's worth mentioning. This is by no means a cutie little RTA. So there's that. That's a thing. The other thing is, there's just no way in the world you would ever, in any circumstance, consider this or use this as a mouth-to-lung RTA. It's just not. It's just not a mouth-to-lung RTA. It just can't do it. There's so much air available in that deck. It just is the way it is. And so, if you're a mouth-to-lunger, sorry, turn off the video now. So that's that. Positives is just this vape quality, you know, absolute vape quality. That is just such a nice vape. I hope that shows across, you know, that is, you know, 2-second draw, lovely big tasty thick clouds, and it's just a smooth operation, very tasty indeed. Other positives, price point, you know, it's about £20 to £30 in the UK, $30 in America. A really nice price point, really well made. TPD compliant, we've talked about, but it sort of is, it is. So there we go. So it can be stocked in UK shops, technically speaking, I guess. So yeah, affordable, well made, lovely vape quality. It's a winner, really. It really is a winner. It's a very good RTA, one of my favourite RTAs at the moment. So hopefully that has given you a good view of this. After this finishes, there'll be links to click on if you want to. Like, subscribe, all that stuff if you want to. I've been Vick, and I'll see you again soon.